Looking for a way to get healthy? The Chef You and I program has the answer. Kathryn Raaker and chefs from around the nation will teach even the most inexperienced how to cook. Come into their kitchen and watch them take ordinary foods with loads of calories and fat and turn those foods into healthier dishes. You will be the first to get tips and ideas on foods that are easy to prepare. Now let's join Kathryn and today's chef and learn how to make today's recipes.
Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker of the Chef You and I want to welcome you to our Valentine show. I'm very excited. We're making some really beautiful things for Valentine's Day, but I kind of didn't want to make the cakes from scratch or the cupcakes from scratch, so I used a mix, a red velvet cake mix. And that's the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make our cupcakes because I already made the cakes ahead of time. And we're going to show you how we decorated one and how we're going to decorate the second one. Then we're also going to make a strawberry and feta salad. And also after that, we're going to make these beautiful drinks like a love punch and a love portion number 9. How about that? That's going to be awesome. But the piece de resistance of our show today is my B&B Chicken, which I make every single year. I broke my arm on a ski slope. Not a ski slope. I was doing cross-country skiing, and that's when I invented B&B Chicken. I think you'll love it. Really simple to do. Your family will just absolutely love it. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make our cupcakes because the oven's already been preheated. So you need 1 cup of water. You need a half a cup of cooking oil and 3 eggs. And then all you do, this is the easy part, all you do is just mix it up and you mix at a lower speed, right? And you'll see how beautiful this red velvet cake is. So you've got it on kind of a slow speed. And when we mix this all up, we're going to pour it in here, and then we're going to put it into our cupcakes holders. So it's about 2 minutes that you have this on to make it. And I actually went out and bought some heart pans, which I really like. And I wanted to make sure that they work, so I made them ahead of time. But I thought I'll do the cupcakes for you. We're almost done with the beating of the cake mix. But I want to make sure everything is in here well. And it doesn't look like very much, right? But this will make 24 cupcakes. But we're not going to make 24 cupcakes today. We're going to just make 12. And then I'll make another, later on. So you're going to get all of our recipes on the Chef You and I. And we try to make things a little bit less, more healthy. Greater for you. Because you can have a little of everything. It's just how your portion size is. So this is done. And what we're going to do is take these out. And I'm going to walk over here with it because I don't want to get this all over the place. And I need to wipe my hand off. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this in here. Because I want them to be all even. Let's see what we got here. So I think that's enough. And then I can watch that. I don't want it to be messy. Also, we have this wonderful little gadget over here from Bagwell. And so we don't need this any longer. So we'll move it over to the side. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pour these into the cupcake, paper cupcake holders. So Right. That should just be enough. Right. There we go. So, like I said, we will have all of our recipes, right, on our website. And you want to have something for the kids for Valentine's Day too, right? So what you do is you make this for them. And we've got some little hot things. What do you call them? Maybe this wasn't such a great idea, but that's all right. It's a lot easier. Okay. Come on, stop. Then just keep going. I think I put too much in one, so we have to change that a little bit. That's enough there. Okay. But all my grandkids love cupcakes, and all my brothers like cupcakes, and sister love cupcakes. So anyhow, and my husband loves cupcakes. There we go. And I'll clean all that up before I put it in the oven. So anyhow, this is just, and I've got another thing that you can use for cupcakes as well, but I didn't want to get that out today. So anyhow, but we're almost finished here, and then we'll put these in the oven, and we will actually make the chicken dish next, which will be really good. And here we go. I don't think I have enough in here. That's why. So we'll clean that up. So anyhow, please send your recipes in to us at the Chef You and I to kraker123@gmail.com. And we will actually do your recipe if you'd like us to. Just takes a long time in this. I didn't realize how long. Oh, well. It's coming. So once we get this done, we'll put these in the oven. All right. We're almost there. And I know there's lots of tools to do this, and you can do it any way you want to. You could do it with a bag, a piping bag. And I think this one has got a little too much in it. So I'm going to use a spoon. And I don't want it to overflow, right? So we'll put that in here. And, you can get your grandchildren to help you ice their cupcakes, or they can do it just themselves. And I bet you 10 to 1 they'll have a really good time doing it. At least my granddaughter always did. So I think we're ready to put these in the oven. And let me wipe this off real quick. I'm a neat freak about this because, you want it to be really nice, right? We're going to put them in the oven. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. We'll be right back. We're back on the Chef You and I. So anyhow, the first thing that we're going to do on our B&B chicken, we've already done our chicken. So it's already been in the 360 pan, and we used wonderful chicken broth to do that. And I'm going to cut this chicken up a little bit more in a second. But the first thing I need to do is I need to actually put my mushrooms in here. Okay. And they're all in there now. And I'm going to put a little bit of butter in there with it, which I don't have. I have to get some. Hold on. And we're going to brown those a little tiny bit. And if our cameraman can come over here, we will show you what we're doing on this. So I'd say it's about 3 tablespoons of butter. And you want to do that up first. And then we're going to add our chicken. And while this is doing this, I have this on like 200. So we'll let that go. And like I said, I'll put some more butter in there. You don't want to put too much. This is a rich, rich dish. And I actually was, when I made it, was many years ago. And what happened was, actually, I didn't have any wine. And we were out on doing cross-country skiing for the first time in my life. And what happened is that I fell and broke my arm. And we were in charge of the cooking that day. And actually, I used to work for a newspaper, and I'm cutting up my peppers right now. I had to go to work for this. I was working for this newspaper, and I was the ad person. So I was the person that actually made the ads. And my boss actually said, I don't want you to come back with a broken arm or anything. Well, little to her surprise, I did. So we're cleaning the peppers real quick. And as soon as we do that, right, the mushrooms are doing really well. They're not, I've got them on really a low temperature. So anyhow, I just wanted to brown them a little bit, not a lot. And we'll wash these off before we put them in there. And I use the peppers for decoration on top of actually this. I like these young peppers because actually they don't give you indigestion like sometimes the other ones do. So I always use these because they're milder and they're baby peppers. So, and this is kind of messy when you do this, but not a problem. So I'm going to take this over here and I'm going to look at my wonderful mushrooms, and they're exactly almost where I want them to be. They're browning nicely, right? And then I'll add all the other stuff to it in just a moment. All right, so I'm going to put these in here, and then I'll actually wash these again before we get ready to put them in the end. And they just are, they're kind of decoration for it, but they also give it a nice flavor. Then the other thing that we're going to do is add our chicken broth to the mushrooms, and then we'll put the chicken in. But one of the other things that we do with it is we're going to add brandy and Benedictine, which burns off, by the way. We use about a cup. We'll put these aside. Brandy and Benedictine I use. A little expensive, but well worth it. It tastes great. Okay, so I'm going to clean this board off. Oh, I want to take this out. These are done. Let me look at them. And we'll let them cool off. And actually, they turned out perfect, actually. And I want to show you these in just a second. And now you can see them. And here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a toothpick in there, then make sure they're totally done. And if it comes out clean, you know they're done. Looks clean to me, but we'll check these bigger ones. And since they're in wonderful, I think they're done. So we're going to put those over to let them cool off, and then we'll decorate them. And I have a wonderful assistant that's going to help me to do that. And she doesn't like to be on camera, so that's all right. Okay, so we'll put these over in back here. Right. we're just cutting our chicken up a little bit. You don't want it really big. You want them small. Okay, that's good. A lot of them are already, but I want to make sure that they're good. And then we're going to add this to our mushrooms. And then we're going to add all the sauces in. Right. Or maybe I'll take the mushrooms out, actually, and put all our wonderful creams soups in there. And you're going to use mushroom soup and chicken soup. Unless you want to make your own cream of chicken soup and cream of mushroom soup. It's just a lot easier, though, to do it this way. And when you're on a ski trip, that's what I had to deal with. So, we're almost done with this. And then they're going to go on pastry puffs that we're going to bake in the oven. But I've got to change the oven's still hot, but I got to put it up to 425. So we'll do that in a minute. And these look pretty good. All right, so let's move these aside. And I will take out the mushrooms out of there. Wipe that out. Just the excess butter, right? Now you're going to add all the cream sauces to it. So that is actually the cream of chicken soup, your half and half. Right, so we're going to add this to it. That's actually 2 cans of cream of chicken soup. Now you can freeze this after you're done with it as well, which makes it nice so you can have it for dinner. All right. And then your cream of mushroom soups. All right. All right. And then you're going to add your chicken broth to it. And then we're going to add the cream and sour cream. It's got a lot of cream in it. But you're not going to be eating tons of this. You're going to be eating it on the 2 pastry puffs that we're going to put in the oven in just a minute. That's what we're serving it on, okay? So let me do this. We're going to take a little break. We're going to take a little break, and we'll be right back on The Chef You and I. So now that our chicken soup and our mushroom soup are really smooth, I'm going to add the B&B. Now this is a cup, okay? But this is for a lot of people. So it will burn off. So you won't be drinking like, you will not be drinking like alcohol. It just burns off. That's what most alcohol does if you cook with alcohol at all. But you can smell it. It really has a nice smell. But when we add all of this other ingredients, you're going to love it. Because now we're going to add the creams and we're going to add the actual sour cream. So I use about a cup of sour cream in it. So I'm going to get out a spoon. And this is regular sour cream. That's just about almost a cup. I never measure it, but I would use it for you. Okay? We'll put this aside. And then we're going to add this to the mixture. So, and then we're going to add, as soon as I get the chicken and everything else in there, we're going to add the cream. And we're going to also add peas and pimento. And I'm going to get the pimento in just a minute. And we'll put that in. Okay. So you can see how well it just blends together. And it's so simple to make. It takes about 40 minutes to make it all together. And then the next day it's even better. So what can I tell you? You can serve this for a party. We're now going to add the diced pimentos, and that's about 3 tablespoons. Okay. And that really makes the dish so beautiful. And the reason why I love this for Valentine's Day, maybe 4, is that it has this wonderful red look to it. So that's the reason why. Anyhow, and we're putting the pimentos back into the mixture, and I had just a little while ago had done more. Actually, you could even use a whole jar of these. Okay, now you can see the pimentos in there, right? That looks really wonderful. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to add your cream, your half and half to it. All right. About a half of the half and half. And that's about half. And then what you'll do is mix this in with it. Right. And then what we're going to do is add everything else. And then we're going to let it be on simmer. How about that? And at the very end, we're going to cut these peppers up, and put them on the top of it. So I have all this wonderful chicken, and we want it to really soak into the chicken, right? And we'll move that around a little bit. And this is about 3 breasts of chicken that I actually cooked ahead of time. And you could use, if you really want to save time, you could actually do it with a rotisserie chicken. Just take all the skin off of it. And then I'm going to put the peas in the end. And then I just put the mushrooms in. And, oh, it smells delicious, I got to tell you. And now that I'm going to add the peas. So that gives you your vegetables, right? And if you want to thicken it up, you could use a little bit of cornstarch. But most of the time, this thickens up by itself because of all the cream and stuff in it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to add the peppers now, but I'm going to move everything. But I need to take a short break, and I'll be right back. Now we're going to cut up our wonderful peppers, right? But you want to take off this white piece right here. You don't want that. So that's really important to get that off. All right. So there's no seeds, right? So that one's clean enough. So do this one, same way. They come right off. It's really funny. Last night I was doing like a zesting for a salad. And, you'll get a white pith on lemons and lots of other things. And actually, I just took my knife and got rid of the pith easily. So there's tricks to all of this stuff. And I think once you learn how to do it, and if you don't know how to cook, we actually try to teach people how to cook. I've been cooking for a long, long time. So these are almost done, right? Now our oven is ready for what we're going to do with the wonderful pastry puffs. So I'm going to put these in, and there's 6 of them. And we're going to put, actually, they take 18 to 20 minutes, I think. So we'll put that on a timer about, say about 17 minutes, and then we'll check it. Okay? There we go. All right, so we're almost done here. We're going to use our trusty dusty bagwell to put these other pieces here. And we don't need this anymore, right? And then we'll just finish this one, and we'll put these in. So you're going to have a meal that we just made, and you saw how fast it was to make it. The only thing that you're going to have time on is cooking chicken. And since we're on television and we only have limited time, you need to do it ahead of time. At least I do. So there we go. So now we're going to cut these up like this. Like that. And we're going to put these in. Now, if you're using, I want to turn this down because this is, believe it or not, we've got it on warm. And you don't want it to stick to the bottom. So you want to stir it. And actually, we could turn it off for a little while. Because really, believe it or not, it's done. And it can just do that. So we're going to turn it off. And we're going to add these. And then we'll be able to serve these as soon as show you how we plate them after the we take everything out of the oven. So you just want to put these right on top. But if you're using a regular red pepper, which a lot of people do, you just cut them in circles. But I'm cutting these in strips. Okay? Gives it a really nice effect. So, and if you really want to make your lover, your boyfriend, your other significant other happy, this is a great dish for them. Especially if they love chicken. So we're almost done here. And we'll take a break. And we'll be right back as soon as we finish this. And our pastry will be done. And we'll be able to show you how we serve it. We'll be right back. We are back on the Chef You and I want to thank our sponsors, the Cornhuskers Gourmet Duck Fat Spray Cooking Oil. And it's just wonderful. We use it for everything. And our new wonderful sponsor is Be Healthy Honey. And this is one of their containers. You don't have to get one of the smaller ones. You can get this. And you can go online to BeHealthyHoneyFarms.com. And so we're going to be using their honey today. But the first thing that we're going to do is we're making the dressing for our strawberry and feta salad. So first thing we want to do is to make the dressing. So we're going to use our brown sugar. That's the first thing. We're going to use our vinegar, our raspberry vinegar. We're going to use actually our Dijon mustard. And that is a tablespoon of the Dijon mustard. And that's enough of that. We'll just add that together real quick. And then we're going to add our cooking, our not olive oil, but regular cooking oil. And we're using canola oil. And that's a cup of that. And we're also going to add to that, we've got our brown sugar, vegetable oil, our vinegars. And we are going to mix this with a wonderful whisk to get it together. And I am going to add honey to this. So I'm using more than they suggest. And see how easy that pours in there? That's 1 and 2. And that'll cut the vinegar a little bit, okay? And what we want to do is get all that honey out of there. And we're good. So we'll add this to this. And then once we're done with this, right, once we get that all mixed up, and you can see that, how that looks. Smells really good. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put this aside. We're going to tear our lettuce, okay, into our bowl. And this is a whole head of wonderful romaine lettuce, right? So you want to tear it. So they said 1 head. So then we'll start adding our strawberries and everything else, our wonderful almonds and the strawberries and the feta cheese. And we'll have a really beautiful strawberry salad. So this recipe, and you know, I forgot didn't forget one of our sponsors, but one of our main sponsors is 360 Pans. Don't forget to go up on their website. That's 360pans.com. And we use all of their pans. They're wonderful. One of the pans is back on the stove, back behind me. And we did all of our preparation for our chicken and everything in that wonderful pan. So here we go. We're almost done with this. And then we'll serve this alongside our cream chicken. And then we're going to have a wonderful drinks with it, non-alcoholic, because everybody's driving, right? And you're going to love this repast. It's really good. This entree is really simple and easy. And don't forget our cakes and our cupcakes. So we're now done with this almost. And we're going to cut up our strawberries. They're right here. And I dropped one. So we can do it a lot of different ways. You can cut them like this and put those in. And then we've got strawberries to go on another thing as well. So they're going to go into our wonderful drinks. And this is all easy stuff, not hard at all. And, so if you really want to have a wonderful evening with your loved ones and not have to go out to dinner and then go out to dinner another time, you can do this really easily at home. And your kids would love it too, because it's a very special Valentine presentation for them. You could even do it at lunchtime. So, anyhow, almost done. That's about a pint of strawberries. And I'm going to leave a few here for the next dish. All right, so you want to add that like that. My hands are clean. Now, what we're going to add is our nuts. Now, if you're allergic to nuts, you don't want to have nuts in it. But these are wonderful sliced almonds, and they're already cooked. I always get the ones that are cooked, right? And just spread those around, right? Like that. And that's about 1/4 cup. And then you're going to add your feta cheese. And you could even crumble it even more, like this. With clean hands, of course. We wash our hands a lot when we're cooking. So, I love feta cheese. It's so good for you. And we're going to put the dressing on this. And I'm going to wash my hands for a minute so that I can put the dressing on it. And, people like to have not a lot of dressing sometimes. So, anyhow, we're going to spoon this on. Move this over and spoon it on, and then we'll plate it. And I'm going to use this. So, So we're now finishing up putting this on our salad plate, and I'll do it on the other one, and then we'll show it to you. But the strawberries are really delicious. Actually, we tried them prior to the show, and they're really, really nice. Okay, let's do this one. You've got enough for about 6 people. You didn't want to serve that much salad. Okay, but this is really a healthy salad. Here we go. Put that on there. Put that on there. And make sure it looks really sweet. And we're done. That was pretty easy. I think this one needs a little bit different. Okay, so there you go. All right, so there you have our salad. Easy does it. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back to do our wonderful chicken and our drinks. Okay, we'll be right back. We're back on the Chef You and I, and the cupcakes are done, and my assistant did the other ones, and I'm going to do these. And here's the thing. Actually, I have 2 cupcake holders on these. So I don't know if she knew that or not, but I did. So we're going to actually ice these real quick. And you could have your granddaughter, your daughter, anybody, your son, to help you do this, right? Really simple. This icing is so fun to use because it spreads so nice, right? And then we're going to use sprinkles on top of this, right? And we'll put it on a really nice plate. And then you have something for everyone. So if people they like wonderful for cupcakes, but they don't like cake, then this makes it easy, okay? Let's do this. We're doing 6 of them, I think, here. And we made actually a lot more. So the nice thing is when guests come, they get to take it home. So here we go. That one's done. Whoops. And I'll take this extra one off of there. That was pretty easy, huh? So we'll get these done, and we're going to ice our cake. One of our cakes, right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to add strawberries to the top of it. And don't forget, you can go to the Chef You and I to get all of our recipes, and that's the Chef, C-H-E-F, U, it's a U, like Ulysses, and I.com to get all of our recipes, and we have like 18 pages. So here's what I'm going to do with these. I'm going to wipe off this, throw these away real quick, and wash my hands. And what we're going to do is we're going to use these wonderful little sprinkles and just sprinkle them on there. Okay. And here's one. Easy. There's actually 5 here. I'm sorry, not 6, but 5. And it doesn't matter if you get them on the plate either, because it just looks happier. So here we go. Here's our cupcakes. Now we're going to do this with our wonderful Valentine's cake, which we did earlier. We made this earlier. I'll show you. See? Now I'm going to use a different frosting on here because I don't have enough frosting actually for that cake. But we're going to decorate it actually with raspberries. And this is a white, real white icing. So it's totally different. Because we have another cake out there that's a cream cheese frosting. We're going to bring that over so you can see that. And we used Red Hots on that one, which is really cool. So kids love to do this kind of stuff, right? So if your grandchildren or if you have little kids, well, I didn't mean to do that. Well, we have these things happen all the time. It's not a big deal. So we're almost done with this. And I'll clean that all up. But when you bite into this red velvet cake, and we're going to cut up a slice so you can see it, it's beautiful. And it's so delicious. These cakes only took 26 minutes. And I used the kind of pans that are really simple and that we used actually our pans. So I think that looks like it's almost done. Let's see. And you might want to swirl it, make it look really wild. And then you can put your berries on top of it. I love strawberries. 1, 2. See how simple that was? A red devil cake. And I think that's enough. That's enough, I think. So here we go. I will put one more in the middle. Whoops. Right there. So, wait a second. I'm not done here. I think I'll do that. And we'll do this. There you go. So, here we go. And you can see that, and I'll clean that up. And then we'll move this other one over so you can see all 3. So, we'll move our salads over. Hold on. Move our salads over. So you can see all of the cakes. So here's this one. I'll move this over to here. So you can make it really a fun kind of event. So you have all 3 different cakes. I'll put some more icing on that other cake and we'll be ready to rock. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make our drinks, and then we'll serve our dinner, and we'll go from there. We'll be right back on The Chef You and I. I love raspberries. We're going to use 2 raspberries in each one of these glasses. Then what we're doing is we're adding a little bit of sherbet, okay, to it. And actually, I'm going to do this. And you want to put that in here, all right? And then you're going to add grape, sparkling grape, and Canada Dry. And then you have a nice, wonderful drink, right? So we're just going to pour this, and this is sparkling. See how sparkling that is? Just wait for a minute, and the raspberries will come to the top, and then we're going to add a little Canada Dry. And this is cranberry Canada Dry. It's coming up, don't worry. There you go. And we'll do the same thing here. We'll add this. Well, we forgot. We'll add this. And just, you don't want to put too much in it. These are small glasses, right? And just put that in there, right? A little bit more. Ouch. There we go. Sparkling white grape, non-alcoholic. To this. And then we're going to add some of this wonderful dry cranberry and ginger ale. And we'll add a little bit more with this in just a second. It's a lovely drink for your wonderful sweetheart. There you go. That looks really nice. We're going to put this one right here. And we're going to add a little bit more to this one. And these are done. Okay. And you can see the raspberries coming to the top. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to make something for your dessert part of what we're doing. And that is we're making actually a love punch. And that actually is 4 cups of cranberry juice, okay, 4 cups of white grape juice. We're going to use this for the ginger ale. We're going to add the raspberries, sherbet, or orange sherbet, or whatever color sherbet you like. And we're going to add our raspberries and some of our wonderful strawberries. Okay, and we're going to do it right in here. And so I need actually the cranberry juice here. So I need 4 cups of it. So I need to get half of that. We're going to use 2 cups. So what we're doing next is, and we're going to bring this over here so you can see it, we're putting 2 cups of cranberry juice or pomegranate juice, and we're using half of this recipe. So there it is. And then we're going to add 2 cups of white grape juice, like we did for the other thing. So this is a punch, right? There's that. And then we're going to add our ginger ale and add a little bit more ginger ale and cranberry. There we go. I'm going to add that to that. And then the really cool part is now we add the raspberry sherbet. So what we're going to do is we're going to try very hard to get this in there. All right, so what we're doing now, actually, instead of using sherbet, we are using actually cherry cordial, and we're putting that into the wonderful thing. And then we're going to add our raspberries and our strawberries to it. And what it's going to do is foam up, like you see it's doing. And then you're going to have this wonderful punch. Hands are clean, okay? So you can see what it's doing now. And then I'm going to add into the glasses right here the raspberries and the strawberries. And you could add a little bit more to the top of it, okay? So, here we go. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stir this up a little bit so you can see what it looks like. Isn't it beautiful? Right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to dip this in there. And I'll clean the glasses off in a minute. Right? Oops, but I can clean the glasses. Don't worry about it, people. And then I'll add, I'm going to wipe this off just a second. So you really want it to look nice. And then I can add to the top of this some more cordial. There we go. And that's what it looks like. And maybe a couple more raspberries. Okay, but we'll add just a little bit more of the liquid. There we go. So that's what it looks like. We'll do the second one. There we go. We're finished with those wonderful desserts and drinks, right? And if you want to put an extra berry in there, you can, to make it look really sweet, right? And maybe a couple here. I think we should add, we're finished. So anyhow, what we're going to do now is we're going to do our chicken and put everything together for the rest of our show. We'll be right back after these important messages. We're back, and now we're going to do the main entree, and that is the cream B&B chicken that we made earlier. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually pour this into the pastry puffs, and it'll be around it too, okay? So there's that. And like I said, everybody that eats this absolutely loves it because it's really very delicious, actually. And you can see that. I'm going to put some around it too. Around it like that. All right. This. And here. So it surrounds it, right? Here we go. So that's one. And here's two. Okay, so we're done. I want to wipe this up, and then we're going to take some pictures, and then we're going to eat. We want to thank you for all the help that we've had on our Valentine show today. We want to thank our sponsors for our Valentine show, and that is 360 Pans. Also, Corn Huskers, Duck Fat Gourmet Spray, and our new honey sponsor, Be Healthy Honey. Thank you so much for all your help and everybody that helped us today to put the show together. And we'll see you next time. Happy Valentine's Day. Bon appetit.
Thanks for joining us on the Chef You and I show today. We'll be back next week with another great and healthy recipe. Don't forget to visit our website, thechefyouandi.com, for all of our featured recipes, cooking tips, and clips of the show.